everybody, welcome to the Roundup. Another good weekend south of Scotland this week. Nice to have a wee bit of cup action, a wee break for the league. So let's just get to right in about it.
Right in about it, like
right in about it, like we're no spicking, but we're safe. Right. So Cumnock and Troon on Friday night. Cumnock 0, Troon 3.
It was Thorn, mate.
Thorn, mate. I've got Thorn written down here. I don't know why I said Troon.
You were out last night, mate.
I know, mate. I'm hanging like a big bag of shit. 3-5, Lockerbie 0, Darvel 2, Hurlford 1 in extra time, St Cadoc's 3, Arthurlie 2. I'm going to apologise if I get any of these wrong because I've literally just been scrimping and scraping to get them. Glencairn 4, Fanart 0, St Peter's 0, Renfrew 3, Pollock 6, Eglinton 0, the Bens 3, Dorai 1, Beath 8, the Ants 1, Husaith 1, Hillabeath 5, Muirkirk 2, Kello 1, Troon, not Thorn 3, Blantyre 2, Gretna 0, Cambuslang 4, Ardrossan 0, The Rock 2, Bonnet 0, Glenafton 1, Fairleven 2, Largs 4 after a 2-all in the 90 minutes, Lincarty 2, Rob Roy 3 in extra time, Shot 6, Burnt Island Shipyard 0, Camelin 2, West Park 0. That one's right, isn't it? Because I didn't even check that. That no right?
Sure, it was 4-2 to Camelin.
Was it? Okay, then 4-2. I wasn't sure if that was right. I just heard it was 2-0 at a certain point yesterday. Newmains 1, Abbeyvale 4, Maryhill 3, Port Glasgow 1, Royal Albert 3, Creetown 1. So, where to start? Friday night game, we'll start. Cumnock losing 3-0 to the Thorn. Great result for the Thorn. Poor result for Nixon and the boys. I think it'd be disappointed with that, particularly when they viewed that as an opportunity to progress. But a great result for the Thorn.
Great result for Thorn, and we backed them a bit, didn't we? And they've maybe not started quite the way that they would have liked. But that could just be what they need to kickstart their season. Gone down there as well, an away game down at Cumnock, which is always tough down at Ravenscraig. Friday night game, big cup game. Would have suited them getting as underdogs, and by all accounts, they've won the game. They've won the game very well. So really deserve a massive amount of credit, because what Cumnock have shown for the start of the season is, although they've been a wee bit inconsistent, they are a very capable and they're a good young side. So for Thorn to go there and win 3-0 in the cup and keep a clean sheet is a tremendous result for Thorn, and it's a bit of a giant killing right from the get-go.
It's a good start for them.
Even though Thorn come from a good start, but it's still a Division 4 club beating a club a couple of divisions above, so very well done to them.
St Cadoc's beating Arthur 3-2. I think that's a wee bit of a marker.
It's only a friendly.
Is that friendly?
Yeah.
I'm having an absolute...
I tell you, mate, I don't even write notes, mate. It's up there, and I'll keep you right, mate. That was a friendly.
Was it? Right, I'm just scribbling that.
Just ditch that. Just put
that
in a ball.
That means nothing. That means nothing, man. Honestly, I'm not drinking Venoms again. That's just my head's a big bag of shit.
The same thing to me, mate. You know what I
mean? Let's see. Where will we go? We will go with St Peter's and Renfrew. 3-0 to Renfrew. Good win for Renfrew. Expected to beat St Peter's 2 divisions below them, but that was a kind of weird one with St Peter's being the home team at West Park. Renfrew will be happy to continue.
Western Park.
Mate, I'm fucking getting him, man. I'm him. I'm just
oh my God, man. Get the roach on or something, mate, because you are stinking the gaff out, mate.
I know, man. Honestly.
You want me to take your lead here?
Yeah, I don't know. I think I just...
I've got no notes, right? We'll just try it. We'll flip it, right? And
I'll get
it off the top of my head.
Right,
so on that game, I'll let you pick that game. I think it's a great result for Renfrew, because it's one of the ones, if they win, they're expected to win. If they lose, then it's a bit of a shock. So for them to go about their business, very professional, 3-0, keep a clean sheet. It's a great start for them. They're doing very, very well. And it's a tough one, because one thing about St Peter's is they'll be used to that park and that surrounding. So
at New Western Park.
I wonder if they used the home dressing room, or it was a
gentleman's
agreement, or if it was a wee gentleman's agreement, because it's their part, they would still keep the home dressing room and they would go in the away one. So that's one I wonder, but it's a very good result for Renfrew, and they move on to the next round.
On you go, mate.
Right. think one of the other great result was for Rob Roy, winning 3-2 at Lancarty away, and they were down to 10 men in extra time, and they've scored with a couple of minutes to go in extra time. So what a result for Rob Roy. Continues their great start to the season. PG, what you got to say about that, mate?
Well done, Rob Roy. You continue your great start to the season. You scored with a couple of minutes to go in extra time. Well done.
One I think that deserves a shout this week. I think Cambuslang winning 4-1 in the Cup. 4-1, very good result. Finlay Anderson with a double. They've not the best of starts in the league this season, but I think for the boys down there, it's good confidence. It's a good distraction away for the league. It might just kick-start them. One thing they're showing in the league is that it's they're battling away and teams aren't getting it all their own way, but it's nice for the Canby to get the win, and it's good for the boys down there. What do you think about that, PG, my man?
I think that 4-1 wouldn't have been as good as 4-0, which it actually was. So well done to Cambuslang winning 4-0 and not 4-1. Mate, what you own, man? What is happening to us? What is happening to us tonight? We're all in a gaff, man.
Because I've been watching and you've been hanging me, but
No, look, that is a good result for Cambuslang. Gretna, obviously, were in the Lone League last year. Did they get relegated last year into the South? I don't even know. Anyway, no.
Don't care about the Lone League.
I don't know.
It's all about the West.
Right. The Rock continued their good form, beating Ardrossan 2-0 away from home. They'll be pleased with that. Davies looks like he's starting to get his way about the team. They're starting to pick up some good results. One for me that one of my teams that I tipped today, well, obviously was Blantyre, losing 3-2 to Troon. But I still think that's a decent result going down there. Troon are banging form now, doing really well. So I think that's not the worst of results going down there.
Aye, firstly in the Candy, the Davy Gregg bus is running, and they seem all together, the club. That's what I've seen. I've seen a lot of videos coming out the Rock with their wins, and the connection they've got with the fans seems really good now. So that's a good atmosphere down there, and it seems to be they're getting a tune at the players. So well done to the Candy, and it's a good away day for the Candy Ultras and the Candy Supporters Club. But I own that Blantyre Troon. That sounds like a right good game. 3-2. I think Blantyre took the league to go 1-0 up. Then I think Troon went 2-1 up. Yeah, it went to 2 each, and then Troon won the game in the end 3-2. So ding dong, good cup tie. Tough game for Troon. They've came out on top, and Blantyre can be very proud of their display. They've went down there, gave a good account of themselves, ran a really good side close, and credit to Troon getting through in the end, because we all know these cup competitions, sometimes it's not about how well you play, it's just about getting into the hat for the next round.
Definitely. Yesterday, Bede beat the Ants 8-1, which will be very disappointing for the Ants, particularly after taking the lead in the first half. I was playing yesterday, obviously Ronnie's my manager in the morning team. And he was saying they were really struggling for players yesterday. There are a lot of kind of important players missing. And obviously he was expecting a hard game. And Bede are doing quite well under strain. I know he seemed to get a wee bit of momentum. But they'll be disappointed in such a heavy defeat, because they're not that type of team. They're very much a difficult to beat type team, and I think they'll be disappointed with that.
I think I'm a bit shocked at a bit surprised, maybe not shocked, but a bit surprised at how comfortably they've won, especially when I looked and they were 1-0 up at the time when I did check it, and I thought, oh, this could be tasty, and these Ants something to hold on to in that, but Beaver get some right good quality, and we Fowler up front. I think Fowler got 4 goals. Good young player, full of pace and energy, and that. He's playing alongside good experience with Kenny and stuff. And obviously, I think then their quality's shown. But I think Straney will be delighted with the start that he's getting out his side. I think that's a really impressive cup win. To score 8 goals against any team is good. It's better than good, mate. It's outstanding. So he must have really hit the form going forward. So top result for them. Very convincing. The Ants will be disappointed with that, but if they've had players with that, the bread and butter is the league for the Ants and that. But very well done to Straney and his team to win the game 8-1. Superb, and well done to Josh Fowler, scoring 4 goals and probably the star man of the day down there.
Yep. Going to touch on 2 fixtures before we move on. The big one with Darvel and Hurlford. Darvel continue their great run at the start of the season. Beat Hurlford 2-1 in extra time. Big McGowan scored the winner in extra time, am I right?
Yeah, Chris McGowan scored the winner, yeah.
So that's another good result. But again, a tough game. Early 90, it was 1 each. Hurlford are showing that I think they've improved. They appear to have improved this season so far. And I think that they'll have a big impact on what happens in the Premier League. Because they're the type of team that can go and beat the top teams, I think.
I totally agree. I think Hurlford are a right good side. They seem as if they're a right tight group and tight unit. They've obviously had the setback with what happened to Will Graham and that, and I think that gives him that wee bit of motivation for him as well, because I know that he's a popular player and a really nice guy in the dressing room. So to not have him as well, he's a big player for them. But the team seem to go out there week in, week out. One thing you can't question is they give their everything for the club, and Darren's got a really good side there, and they've pushed Darvel all the way. But what it shows with Darvel is that they've got their quality. I think that Big Mark McDonald, I think, and goal for Hurlford's had a right good game. And
the goalkeeper.
He's very good, mate. He's kept them in it at times, and listen, you need that. See, when you go to Darvel, you need your goalie in your back four to play well. You need your goalie. He's going to have to make saves, you know what I mean, because of the quality they've got. But it's another one. It's went extra time. It's a wee bit more on the legs for both sets of players, but they've got the time to recover, and Darvel went to the next round, and Hurlford have pushed them really close, and it's probably been a right good game. But that's it. Darvel in the hat for the next round, and they move on to next week, and both clubs move on to next week. But so well done to Darvel.
Yep, definitely. I mentioned, even though they lost, I mentioned to Vale Even, who have had a really tough start to the season, managing to get 2-2 with Largs over the 90. Largs have had the extra bit of quality, been able to see it through and win 4-2 in the extra time.
Vale Even
should give them a bit of confidence. That's a great result.
But Vale Even always seem to do well in cup games and cup competitions. I think last season they've had some good results in the cups, and I think that they'll be hoping to replicate their cup form into league form. But that will give them something to build on. It'll give them the confidence boost. They've pushed a Premier team all the way, gave them an almighty scare, but they've ended up losing the game in extra time. But they'll take really great credit for that, and then there's Largs in the next round as well. Yep.
Right, moving on to league action. In the Premier League, Cumnock 3, Petershill 1, the only game in the Premier League this weekend. Watched the highlights this morning. Really good result for Cumnock, puts them back top of the league. Petershill, it's just really struggling for them so far. They've only scored 2 goals this season in their first 4 games. They're bottom of the league without a win, without a point. But when Cumnock have got Moore up top, he's going to score goals. I mean, he's a very, very good player. I think that puts him joint top goal scorer now as well on 4 goals. He's a very good player, and they look like a good, strong side this year.
They're sitting top of the league, and I know it's only 4 games in, and they've played when most teams haven't had a game, but it's really nice for the players and the fans, and especially the fans, to look at the league and sit on top. It doesn't matter if you've played more games or not. It's always a nice feeling to be top of the league. So for them to get that league action and get 3 points on the board and put a wee bit of squeeze on in the teams below is really good. And Jordan's a very good striker, mate. He started the season very well. But see Peasy, although they've not won a game, I don't imagine they certainly never made it easy for us in the first game of the season, and I don't imagine that in the other games, and especially on Saturday against Cumnock, that Cumnock have had it all their own way, and I think that I think it's just maybe scoring goals. It's maybe just a big thing for them, but I think that Willie and that are a good manager. Is a good manager, and I think that they'll add as the season goes on, and I think that it's a matter of time before they pick up a result. But great result for Cumnock, sitting top of the league. Great start, 3 wins out of 4, 9 points at the start of the season. Gints, H and the backroom staff will be really happy with that, and they move on again to Scottish Cup next week. They're in the big Senior Scottish Cup, so that's a nice wee distraction with them. And I think a lot of the teams might be in Senior Scottish Cup action, so you never know, they might still be top of the league this time next week.
That's true. On Petershill, with it's not going to happen like it did last year, but they had a really slow start last year and then had that phenomenal run. I don't expect that, obviously, being the Premier League.
We've had to deal with losing all the players. We spoke about it previously, didn't we? They've had that. It's been a massive turnover of players at the club, so it's going to take a wee bit of time for them.
Will do. Moving on to the first division, with 4 games: Drumchapel 4, Whitlets 2, Johnstone Burgh 2, Neilston 1, Kilburnley 4, Thorniewood 3, Rossville 1, Cumbernauld 1. The Burgh and Neilston, bit of local derby.
Yeah.
1 up, Burgh pull it back, get the 2-1 win. Huge result for them. I would have had Neilston to win that because they've had I just feel they're very, very solid and steady, don't lose many games. But again, Jamie and the boys do well. They seem to keep plugging away, and it was a great result for them.
It's a brilliant result. I think it was only like last week we were singing the praises of Neilston, and I think they were even saying things like they'll be very difficult to stop. But I think we were saying like last week, and for Johnstone Burgh to win the game, Johnstone Burgh as a team I've tipped to do really well this year. I think they've got a good young side, and I think that's a brilliant result for them. And they've got young players, but they're more than ready for the big occasion and the big games. They seem to perform, and what that'll do for their confidence as well is amazing, mate. So, it's a great result for the Burgh, and especially with the Burgh losing quite heavily to Kilburnley a couple of weeks ago. They've bounced back well. They've shown good character. They've won a couple on the bounce again, and they've just kept themselves right in the mix. So that was a big game between two sides that we expect to be up there, and the Burgh have came out on top, and especially coming from behind as well. It's impressive stuff, because you're thinking if Neilston can get in front, it's difficult for any team, because, as you say, they're very strong defensively. But I said it's early days, and that's what the Neilston camp will be saying. But well done to Johnstone, but a top result for Jamie and the club.
Really good. Drumchapel beating Whitlets 4-2, bouncing back after the defeat to Thorniewood last week. Johnstone, and that's it being mentioned, if you're all right with that.
That was a great result last week for.
Brilliant result from last week. I know, apologies that we missed it. We just a wee bypass for us. But the Drum bouncing back, winning 4-2. Been a mixed bag for them this season so far. 1-2, losing 2, scoring 9, conceding 9. So defensively, it's not been what Hopi, I'd imagine, would like. But that was a good, strong win for them, because Whitlets are the same. They've won 2 and lost 2. But Whitlets have been nice and steady so far this season, and they're going to be a tough team to beat. So, 4-2 to the Drum.
Tell you what, the Drum will be good value for money this season, by the looks of it. I think every game's got goals in it that they've played in. So if they're not scoring lots of goals, they're maybe conceding for more than what Hopi and Jai that would be happy about. So no, there'll be a good entertaining watch. It's a good entertaining watch in the league, and that sounds a right good game. And Whitlets have played their part in that, and unfortunately they've lost the game. But well done to the Drum. It's a really good result for the Drum, and scoring 4 goals is good firepower down there.
Definitely. On the Drum's opponents last week, Thornie were losing 4-3 to Kilburnley. That sounded like a cracker.
Belter.
I mean, we've both said it for last season and at the start of this season. Thornie would score a lot of goals. Maybe they'll not be happy with the fact that they've conceded the 4 yesterday, but they're playing a team who are one of the favourites to win the league, and they've pushed them all the way, which will give them a bit of encouragement after last week's win, even though they've dropped points this week. It shows that they've got a bit of quality and they can put pressure on some good teams.
Thornie were done good, mate, so that's a good result for Tommy in that, especially bouncing back after getting beat off the rock at home. So it was important, especially another home game, that they get the results. A good goal. Did you see Big Alexander's volley?
Mate, I've no, man.
Mark Alexander, the last kick in the box. A great finish, fair play to him. Look, just the way he took it, man, it was a magnificent. It was saucy. It was beautiful. It was great technique.
Well, there you go.
Mate, it was a good way to win the game, mate. It's a horrible way for Thornie boys, because they would have been probably saying a point's a good result down here, and they would have took that, and it would have been we would have been talking about how good a point it was. But to then lose the game, they'll be gutted about that. But aye, the Kilburn boys, because I think the Candy boys had a wee bit of a party down there last week, so it's nice for it to flip and the Kilburn get their wee, because the dressing room would have been bouncing after that. You know yourself in it, when you score a late goal, man, the dressing room's always a good place to be in when you score a late winner in a game. So well done to Kilburn bouncing back this week.
Makes it a bit sweeter when that happens. Finally, Rossville and Cumbernauld 1-1. Rossville picked up the first points of the season. I had Cumbernauld in my coupon yesterday. I think I'm just going to chuck it because I literally can't predict I want to save myself. But
your cup won't man you chuck it, mate.
Oh, I know, mate. I know.
Your cup are buzzing off you, mate.
Mate, honestly,
you just give them the motivation all the time, mate, to come and throw it back in your face. To be honest with you, I think that Kev Muirhead in there should be phoning you, mate, and thanking you personally, mate, because that's a couple of times now that you've done him right.
Every time I go against them, they win. I mean, it shows.
A team talk, mate.
It shows a mental weakness on their part that when I don't mention them, they lose. So I think that they need to strengthen themselves a wee bit, and I'll maybe see how many times Darren Payton wants to send me messages saying,
mate, you hang is, mate. Now he's got a bit of backup, because you know that Scuddy Jamie Gray, mate. It's always on your case.
Aye, but I don't mind it with Jamie. I don't mind it with him. It's a bit of fun,
But Darren came at you hard, mate, and I like that, mate. I love it.
He came at me hard. I didn't hear it when he got scudded by 7 goals there a week ago. But hey, look, easy to send me winning.
Hey, who are we talking about again?
Rossville. Talking about Rossville.
Aye, let's
not get sidetracked. Cumbernauld still top of the league. You did fancy them to get a win yesterday. Really good point for Rossville. They'll be really happy with that, because even though that's their first point, they've been competitive in most of their games, apart from the odd one. But that's what Cumbernauld are top of the league, and they've only won 2 out of the 4. You know what I mean? So we know this is going to be the way that league's going to be, because it's just there's only 3 teams who haven't lost a game yet.
And I might be wrong, mate, but nobody's going to run away with that league.
No, too even and too many strong teams in that league.
But see for Kev, because to be honest with you, we have said that Rossville will struggle, and I think that I'm absolutely buzzing for him, mate, because he's a cracking guy, and I'm buzzing for him to get off of Martin, and that's a right good result, because as you say, that's a team up near the top of the league and up the top of the league, and for them to get a point and it's a big point, because it gets them off the mark, it gets the belief in the dressing room, gives them something to build on. But fair play to him, man. I'm absolutely delighted. He's had to turn there a full new team and numbers, and it's as a full new team. It was not one player there for last season at Rossville, so I really take my hat off to him. I'm absolutely delighted for him, because they're young gaffers up there now. I don't really know the other boy that's in as a co-manager, but for Kev Kelly, I'm absolutely delighted, mate, because he's a really nice guy, and through a lot, and I'm delighted for him to get off the map.
We've spoken about it a few times now. If they can do anything this year, then that is it's a massive achievement for the management and the players, because the turnaround's been ridiculous. But great result from yesterday. Second division, Craigmark 3, Perthshire 1, Maple 1, Glasgow United 0, Wishaw 2, 4-2, and the Friday night game, Glasgow Uni 1, Ashfield 2. We'll start on your old Ashfield.
Yeah.
First, was that your debut? Second game? Sorry, that's 2 goals.
No, he's played 3. I think he's played 2 games he played 2 games as a trialist, and that was his first game as a side player, and he scored a goal. I think that's his first official goal. I think he scored as a trialist, but I think that's his first one for signing officially with the club, and that's a great signing for Ashfield. He's had a great career in the senior football, but Ashfield have started really well. Solid, mate. Solid. That's a good win for them on the Friday night up at Airdrie, and they're sitting probably in a decent position. Like I've not looked at the league to see where they're actually sitting, but
Ashfield are sitting in 4th place just now.
aye,
7 points at a possible 12.
Aye, so they've won 2, drew 1, lost 1. Aye, they've had a good steady start under Mick. They probably could have been that better if they didn't give the lead away last week. But good steady start for Ashfield. Delighted for it, man. You know, it's my club close to my heart, so it's always one of the first results that I check after my own game on a Saturday. So well done to Ashfield. Great result.
Aye, really well done. Craigmark keep the 100% record, beating Perthshire 3-1, a result you would probably expect. Perthshire sitting bottom, Craigmark top. But aye, every week we're saying it. Cadiz is doing a great job down there. The players are doing really well. And that's another good win, particularly when Renfrew weren't in league action this weekend.
Aye, puts the squeeze.
Aye.
Puts the squeeze on them a bit. And well done to Craigmark there. They've started the season really well. So fair play to them. But aye, it's always nice see when you're up there. It doesn't matter how early it is. So hello. Hiya, babe. That's the Wayne. And
I just thought you were talking to me.
No, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that in public to you. We do that privately. No, they've done well. They've started really well. It doesn't matter how early it is. You always want to put the squeeze on the teams up above the teams that are going to be up there with you in the league. So well done to them.
Aye. Another team in second spot just now. Mabel beating Glasgow United 1-0. A good steady start for them. 3 wins and 1 draw. Glasgow United, I think they'll be a sticky team this year. I think that they'll probably be a mid-table team, but they'll take points off of teams above them.
Aye.
Maybe lose points they well, shouldn't they? But that's a good win for Mabel.
I agree with that, mate. It's a great result for Mabel, keeping a clean sheet. It's always good, especially after them conceding 5 goals last week. Do you know what I mean? 5 each, so it goes from one contrast to another. So well done to them keeping a clean sheet, won the game. But I agree with that. Probably in Glasgow United, I think that they'll have some right good results, and then they'll have ones that are disappointed with. But I think that listen, in-house they'll want to push, and they'll be wanting to push up to the up near the top of the league. But I think I agree with you there, mate.
Aye. Final game in the second division, Wishaw 2, 4-2. Wishaw have not the start they would have liked. They've only got 2 points sitting third bottom. Fourth have been a bit of a mixed bag. 1-1 drawn, 1 and lost 2. But
yeah.
I'd imagine fourth will probably be more disappointed with that based off of the standings beforehand. But there's not a great deal to say about it, I suppose.
Nah.
Move on to... Sorry, you go, mate. On you go.
No, I think you've had it spot on there, mate.
Right, moving on to Division 3. Cumnock 0, Vale Clyde 5. East Kilbride 1, Larkhall 6. Lesmehagel 3, Saltcoats 0. Start with Larkhall. The only team that won for me on the coupon yesterday. Really fancied them. East Kilbride has really not gone the way they'd have wanted it to go so far, and I don't like saying it because we're pals with Azza and stuff, but I think it's been a really poor start for them. With the players they've brought, the quality they'd expect to do better, but that's an excellent result for Larkhall.
It shows you the quality they've got in the league. Do you know what I mean? In-house, and their players as well are very experienced players, so they're not going to be happy themselves as well. So I think a few words would have been probably said in the dressing room after that one. But what it says about Larkhall is it shows you the quality Larkhall have got this season, and that's a really good emphatic win for Larkhall. It really puts a statement out to say that they mean business this season. So well done to them.
Well, that's Larkhall scored 18 goals.
Good firepower.
Very, very good so early in the season. 1-4 drawn, 1 lost 1. So they're having a right good start to the season, keeping themselves within reaching or touching distance of the top teams in that league. Another one for me, a team I think are doing excellent, and I think will be right up there at the end of the season. Vale Clyde beating Cumnock 5-0. Cumnock, on the other hand, are having a really hard start to the season. Lost all 4 games quite convincingly, but a good win for Vale Clyde.
Yeah, it's not a great start for Cumnock, but Vale Clyde had a great start, great result against Dalry. Was it Dalry they beat? Was it?
Aye, during the week there, aye.
Was it?
Wednesday beat them 3.
Aye, they beat Dalry, didn't they? And then Aye, so they're putting a good wee run together, and they've started the season well. And it's good to see that Villa Clyde having a good start, because they're showing that they'll probably be up there as well. So that's a good emphatic win, very impressive win, and they'll be buzzing off that.
Definitely. Another team who have found a right good bit of form is Les Mahago. They had obviously, we've spoken about it previously, the absolute scudding they took off Irvin Vicks, which was a shock result. But other than that, they've been flawless. Five wins out of 6 in the league.
Aye,
That was a good strong win.
They've bounced back, mate. They've shown the bounce back ability. Remember, they used to say that. They've shown bounce back ability and character. They're on a good run of form, so they want the games to come fit and fast, because they seem to have been hitting form now. So they'll be just chomping at the bit for the next game, and their form's been very, very good, mate.
It's been excellent. Saltcoat's having a tough season already.
Aye.
But
Lanark, did you say about Lanark? They're flying, didn't they?
Aye, they are 5 out of 5. They're having a great season, and
100%, mate. Can't ask for any better, man.
I mean, that's how I tipped Kello to beat Muircup. Muircup been having a tough time. Kello been absolutely flying, but it wasn't to be yesterday.
No, Simon's assembling a good team down there this year. They're showing that their team's very well equipped for the season ahead by the looks of it. So can't grumble with their start to the season. Been brilliant.
Aye, definitely. Division 4, BSC 2, Glenville 1, Easterhouse 1, Campbeltown 1. BSC having a really good start to the season, 1 3 out of 4. I didn't expect them to do particularly well this season, but they must have added a bit of quality. And that's a good one. Glenville can be, I know they've had a bad start themselves, losing 3 out of the 4. But Glenville can be a tricky team, and that's a good one for BSC.
I think they lost the first game against Rossville, wasn't it? Was it Rossville that got beat off?
Then they've won the 3 since, aye.
Aye, so and that was one that maybe were a bit surprised me, but first game of the season and that, you could always have players more there, still on holiday, still early when it was August, innit? You still maybe have players missing, but aye, they've came good the last couple of weeks, and they're picking up the wins, and they're climbing up the table. I think they're even sitting joint tap or something.
With Threave, Forsyth, and West Park. Obviously,
they'll be delighted with that, especially if they're losing the first game. But sitting there, 4 or 5 games in, sitting on top of the league, man, then they're buzzing with that. It's a right good start, because I think that after the first one we were going on, is it going to be another difficult season for BSC? But it just shows you, know what I mean. You can't write people off or write teams off after one bad result. So well done to them.
Aye, and the thing is as well, you've said they've lost to Rossville first game of the season. Rossville have done all right, had a decent start.
Yeah.
But they'll have been buzzing first senior game. They're flying. BSC don't have that same kind of motivation as they would have had last year. But they've had a really good season so far. Great start from the other one. Easterhouse getting their first point on the board, so well done to them. Their first senior point. Drawn 1-1 with Campbeltown. That's Campbeltown. We spoke about this at length last season and already this season. Campbeltown, when they go away from home, you know that it can be a mixed bag with them. You never know what type of team they're going to have kind of coming, because obviously it's a lot of travelling for the boys, and you never know if they're going to have a strong team. But well done to Easterhouse to get their first point on the board, and maybe that's the wee result. They need to just give them a bit of momentum and start kicking on.
It's always nice to get off the mark, even if it's a point. Do you know what I mean? You always, when you're in the game, you always want 3 points. We're in it to win, but it's historical, in it, for the club. It's the first point that they've had in what they class as senior football in the West and West of Scotland League. So well done to Mark, well done to the team in that, and as you say, it gives them something to build on. But listen, that's a good point for Campbeltown. And away travel to Stepford, it's a long journey, and they've managed to pick up a point. It gives them something to get down the roadway, and they've probably equipped themselves really well and travelled with a good squad, and it's good to see, because it is a club that we sit and we've got a wee soft spot for. Do you know what I mean? Because you can't really understand how hard it must be for them because of the away days and stuff like that. But well done to them, and it's a good point away from home, and and they've started the season very steady as well.
Aye, definitely. Two wee things I want to touch on before we finish. That's all the game's done. I touched on last week the Hamley Row stuff. I've heard a wee bit more about what's been going on, and it's not sounding good. They've come out on Twitter and said to us last week, after I'd made the comments, that the first team were still the flagship team for the club and everything, but I'm not sure that's the case. They're not allowed to play at Alex Ferguson Park. Now I'm hearing that the women's team could potentially be having to move away from them, and they might be losing all their girls' teams. And the teams some of the younger teams who haven't paid their fees recently are not going to be allowed to play Alex Ferguson Park until they pay everything up, which I don't know the people involved at the top of the tree there, but it seems like it's no good going at Hamley Row, and hopefully it's something that can get sorted out, because, I mean, we know them obviously quite well. You know them for playing at 21s and all that, and it's a great club. Hopefully it's something that can get sorted, because it's no what we like.
It's an institution, mate. It's an institution. Hamley Row, mate. Hamley Row have churned out player after player, early years. Boys have been on to senior football, and who did you play with? You played with a lot of boys played with Hamley Row and all that, and young boys coming through have represented Hamley Row and that. So I don't know too much about it, mate. Do you know what I mean? I don't know too much of the information, but if that's the case, it's no good to see. And I'm wondering, is it Sir Alan Sugar that's the chairman and Charles down there, because he's just firing everybody, but it sounds like you're fired.
It sounds like it's no good.
I don't know too much about it, PG, mate, to be honest, and maybe people can enlighten us, but it's maybe a wee bit worrying, as I said last week. Do you know what I mean? But listen, who am I really? Do you know what I mean?
Well, that's the thing. We always say that information that gets passed on to us, it's just information passed on to us. It's not necessarily exactly what's happening, but I'm fairly confident for what I've been told that these things are happening, and it's on good information.
Yeah.
The other one is West Park seem to be having some disciplinary issues where they had problems Campbeltown last week, I'm hearing, and they also had a game abandoned during the week against Cumnock side, the amateur team. I think there's been a couple of instances of West Park players, I suppose it's assaulting people, isn't it, punching people, and it's no great. It's not what you want, because they're a good side team, obviously kind of close to you, and someday, well, I think we both tipped them to win the league. So I'm hoping that it's maybe just been certain circumstances have caused it, and it's not going to be a recurring theme. But it doesn't bode well that that's kind of the way the behaviour's been going for some of their players so far.
No, listen, you don't want to hear that for any team, but it's hard to comment on it, because some of this stuff might not even be. Some of this stuff might still be getting investigated or looking into, or it might be the league disciplinaries looking into it. So I think it would be unfair to comment, because you don't know two sides of the story, and that goes for Campbeltown last week as well. I need to clear that up. Do you know what I mean? There was nobody throwing the blame at Campbeltown last week. We're just privy to information that we sometimes get, and we just make a comment about it, and not everybody's always going to agree. But I don't know. I don't know if they're having but it sounds it as if they've had a game abandoned and then they've had a problem with Campbeltown. Then I always believe it's no one way. It takes two. It takes two teams and two sets of players for things to happen. So listen, at the end of the day, these stuff will be getting dealt with the authorities it may be, mate. So I'm not really going to comment on it, because I don't know what's happened. I don't know too much about it, mate. And I wish we were just talking about football, mate, and football only, because at the end of the day, that is what we're here for, and we're here about the football. But sometimes you need to talk about other things, because other people talk about.
The thing is, as well, though, you know what it's like. Somebody was at the game on Wednesday, and I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday, and told me about it. And I'd heard from some other people about what happened to Campbeltown. You know what it's like. We've all played in games where boys have lashed out and hit people, and that it's happened hundreds of times. So you don't know whether that's just what's happened, or if there's some discipline who's not been great. But look,
look at Anthony Joshua last night, mate. I know he's not hit anybody, but he certainly didn't hit any punches during the fight, mate. But emotion gets on the top of people, and we all love the game. I even commented on something Graham Souness said, unless you've played the game, you don't understand the emotion that built one, mate.
I know.
We all love the game, and all the players that play West of Scotland and that love the game, and the managers are so passionate. There's even jobs on the line and all that. So see when things aren't quite going your way, and you're that intense and you're an intense person, things are going to happen that you're going to probably look back at yourself and go, I wasn't right there. I done wrong there, and we've all done it. I've acted pure daft at times, and then when I go home and I look at it and reflect, I'm like, I was a dog ball there. I shouldn't have done that, and that's what's probably happened in these instances. We just don't want to hear it, but we do totally understand that things happen at the heat of the moment, and that's football. Do you know what I mean? And sport. And listen, let's hopefully we can just move on, and it's just all talk about football, because that is the most important thing. Getting the ball down and play, pass, move.
Mate, the irony is, I'm talking about West Park having disciplinary issues. I got sent off yesterday. You know what
Did you?
I'm saying that with him. I get sent off, so I've got a cheek to talk.
Mate, you are that person, mate, where you must go home and reflect on your attitude is stinking, mate, on a football park.
After I get sent off, I was standing, I went outside the fence and I was watching the game, and I was like, why did I do that? It's literally within minutes, I was why did I do that? It wasn't even, I got booked in the first, booked, and then I had a wee scuffle with a boy in the penalty box and gave a penalty away and get sent off. And I was like, why did I do that? Why did I do that? Mate, it's ridiculous.
This makes me want to come down and watch you, mate. You get some dynamite footage of you. Yes, you're letting the side down. Erskine, I apologise for him, but the PG and that show, his opinions and his performances are his problem. My opinions and my performances are my problem. So do not tell me, because I'm sick and tired of people on Twitter thinking I picked these bets, mate, as well. So me. He gets sent off. He's got the issue. You get it sorted, mate.
It's been a bad weekend, mate. I mean, I don't even
honestly
put results in it for friendlies and all that. I don't even know what I'm doing. But to finish up, on Friday night we went to the Merrymas Derby. What an advert for football at our level. Great crowd. It was passion. The game was a bit tame, but then it finished off brilliant. 3 goals in the last 5-10 minutes.
Fireworks at the end, mate.
Oh, mate, it was brilliant, man. It was really. Yeah. And it was a great night. So I started editing a wee bit today, but because I'm night shift this week, my time will be restricted. But I'm hoping to have the episode up by Thursday at the very latest. But it was an absolute beauty. It was a great night, wasn't it?
Brilliant night, man. Brilliant night and great turnout. I think I seen somewhere that was like 1,200 or 1,300 fans. It was a brilliant occasion. Hopefully you can tune into the vlog. Hopefully you will like it. It was a great occasion, and that looked like a good game to be part of, because it was certainly good to be part of the atmosphere and the occasion. But brilliant, mate, and I hope it's a good one, and maybe we'll sample more Merrymas derbies over the coming couple of seasons.
I was quite impressed with Irvin Vicks. I thought they were good. I mean, I thought the 2 Jackson brothers were really good. Me and you spoke about Chris playing really well at fullback.
Oh, he was man of the match.
I thought he was really good.
Man of the match on the night, but and Owen probably
was brilliant.
Keeper probably pushed them very close as well. But there was could talk all day. I think the vlog we talk about it anyway, and we go into more detail. So no, it was a good day. A good day, and the Med were good hosts as always, and it was good to get down there and experience it for the first time myself as well. And it was good to take the PG and DAC on tour and have the two together again doing our stuff, mate.
It was enjoyable, mate. It was enjoyable. So that'll do us for another week. Like I said, hopefully have the vlog out Thursday the latest. And have a good week, everybody. Thanks for watching.
Go and pull yourself together, mate.
I know, man. I know. What I need is just a good night's sleep. That's all.
I think, to be honest with you, this has been an absolute nuke this week, mate.
It's been a shambles, I
think you can expect to get a wee bit. I think we'll get it a wee bit this week on the Twitter.
Aye, I know. I feel like I'm taking a bit more stick recently. I'm not helping myself.
Aye, you're leaving yourself wide open, mate. You're not like me, mate. sometimes sitting in the fence and getting a sore arse is the way to go, my man.
Right, everybody. Cheers for
Right,
watching.
mate. Catch
See
you
you later.
later.